It's time for Don and Ron. You won't get this anywhere else.
Howdy folks, welcome to another edition of Don
and Ron.
How you guys doing today? Something we need to kind of cover before we get started. We want to make sure that everybody is subscribing and liking and sharing. So make sure you do that so that we can get out there and get more people interested in what we got going on. And one of the things you need to make sure of is that you're sending us emails. Send us emails so we know what you guys want us to do, something we can show you. Do Patriot Aircraft LLC at yahoo.com or canddaviation at yahoo.com. Well, today we're going to let Ron do most of the talking, believe it or not. And we're going to talk about how you can set up and trammel your wings. This particular set of wings is a wood set of wings. On the Cub, we're working with Michael. It's a 1945, like the all-original airplane. So without further ado, I'm going to shut up and let Ron talk.
All right. These are our original set of spars and the wing, and we have got it set up in our wing jig so that we can do our trammeling off. There is basically two ways of trammeling. In this particular case, the jig holds the wing and the overall square, so we'll measure off at the point here, which is center to center at the attachment points, is 12 inches on a wood spar wing and actually a metal spar wing of this J3 style. Now we measure off and give a given measurement long ways down the spar, and then we get an X on the overall, and then we can come in and use a string running down the leading edge and attaching this and get an overall straight edge down that through it. Or we can take, like a lot of people do, and you break it down in squares and use either a trammeling device like this one right here that we've made, just a couple pieces of black iron pipe with a couple 1/4-20 nuts and stuff mounted to it, and you can adjust it back and forth as a trammeling bar to go from a starting point, and you start each station and you square to trammel each one of the stations and move your way down all the way down the wing until you get the entire wing trammeled to square. And then you still want to go with an overall measurement to make sure that you're square, and then if you can, do a string down the edge at that point to make sure that you do have a true leading edge squareness in all plumb. So that's the way that we normally do these things, to make sure that you get every bit of perfectly straight that you possibly can. Now my brother Don's got a little tape, and we're going to do a little kind of show and tell how we do this. Go ahead and run on down, Don, and we'll put one piece
What
of
we
tape
got
on.
right here, guys, is we got tape that we put at stations. You got your your compression tube, and so we got a piece of tape in the general area. And what we're going to do is we're going to measure from there to here and there to there, and we're going to get it set in place. And then what we're going to do is, once we get our mark, we know where we're going to. This is where, when we take that pointer, we adjust it for this particular section, this box, and we'll check that point and we'll do a cross on it so that we make sure that this section is square. And then by having the string on here, we'll also make sure that we keep it straight. So we'll do this box, and then we'll do the next box, then the next box. It is called trammeling. So what we're going to do, like I say, is we've got our tape set right here, and then we're going to go over on the other side, and we're going to pull this square. We're going to make sure that everything's set and kind of halfway in place, and then that's when we start using our trammeling device that we have. So this is kind of where we get started. Ron's got that one.
Yep.
All right. Oop, Ron, I got the wrong end. He needs the smart end. I got to have the dumb end. All right, there we go.
You got it?
I got it.
There we go. Now I'll get the center of the spar.
Look down there and see what he's done right there, Michael. It's very important that we're measuring from the same point every time. That's what's going to determine that this thing has been done right and it's squared right. So anyway, now we got our trammeling device.
Right.
And like I said, we'll go over there. It's really simple. These little guys, like I say, just being able to move them back and forth really makes a lot of difference. So we'll tighten that down. Ron will move his.
All right.
Coming your way.
Yep.
And I'll put it right on the T that he's made. Hold it vertical.
And I'll put mine down here. Check it. Make sure that I'm good. There we go.
All right. So now all we got to do is we just got to move from side to side. Put it on my mark.
Yeah. And then we're absolutely perfect.
So, and of course, we've already kind of trammeled this guy. And then, of course, you've got to check the tension on the drag and anti-drag wires. But that's basically how we do it. That little device that my brother made really makes it simple, because you can use a measuring tape, no problem. But trying to get down beside this rib and really try to get exact and get on that point, that and the very end of your measuring tape. Let me have the measuring tape, Ron.
All right.
Kind of show you, you guys probably know this already, but one of the things that makes it difficult is right here. Get a little closer, Michael, right here. You know, because that moves in and out, and you know, if you had it this way one time on measuring one side and that way on measuring another side, you get a difference. So it's so much easier than trying to put this here, and see, I'm not even touching there. But with our trammeling device, it goes right down to the point, and that way we can make sure that we're accurate the whole time. So that's why it's so important. Now look right here, this is another deal that my brother's come up with, but we've talked to other people. You got a nice digital or regular scale, fish scale. You got a straight edge laid on top, and you just simply got a tube that runs down on top and got a little saddle that goes right over top of that drag and anti-drag wire. And so now he pushes down on it, and if you look right there, we've got marks of tape around that tube. So he mashes it down until the deflection that it calls for, and then looks at the scale to determine whether or not it's, you know, been set to the proper tension, that it's tight enough. So anyway, it's just another way of doing things and making it simpler. Let me show you this device that he's come up with. Again, it's nothing complicated. This is just a piece of carbon tubing, aero tubing, or anything you can get. And now he's just got scale marked out, 1/2-inch scales, and it just simply hooks in the end of it. And that way you can pull it and get the deflection. Watch how far it goes down right there, and then you see what your measurement is. So it's a real simple way of doing it, but that way you can measure it. It's pretty neat little apparatus he's come up with, nothing real special. All right, well today that's kind of about it for this video. We're going to do another one on selecting wood for your wingtip. One of the things, you know, Univar has them, Cub Doctor has them, Clyde Smith, and we use the white ash just like it was originally. And it's amazing how you can get one wingtip bow that's not as good as the other. So we're going to cut this video off, and we're going to go to wingtip bows. So again, you need to like us, subscribe to us, like us, and share so that we can make sure that we help other people. So give us your ideas, send them to canddaviation@yahoo.com or Patriot Aircraft LLC@yahoo.com. Thanks and have a good day.